Hello everyone. What you're about to see is an epic adventure that probably most Midwest ski riders dream of. Our plan was to leave Diversey Harbor by 7 a.m. and then make a 77 nautical mile crossing to South Haven, Michigan. Unfortunately, our ride didn't commence until after 8:30, and just that short time you can see how much the water conditions changed.
I don't know where I'll end up later. Maybe lost in the ashes, lost in the ashes. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running, I'm running. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running from myself. Everywhere I go, in these busy streets, I'm a criminal. Every day and night, moving slow-mo in the fast life. I'm a criminal. Yeah, I'm a criminal. Blood on my hands, fighting my demons.
If you are not a seasoned or experienced rider of Lake Michigan, I recommend that you do not attempt to do this ride. My reasons for saying this because out of the 195 miles that we did, this is what our conditions was like majority of the time. It is not an easy ride. It beats the hell out of your body, and Kevin and I were both sore for a week after this crossing. Although Kevin faced some challenges when it comes to refueling, I was fortunate enough to end up with him as a wingman. He wasn't one of those riders that had to stop every 5 minutes because of conditions, and he knew how to stand up and ride when his hands got numb.
Every day and night, moving slow-mo in the fast life. Everywhere I go, in these busy streets, I'm a criminal. Every day and night, moving slow-mo in the fast life. I'm a criminal.
Now began Kevin's challenge of unstrapping his fuel tank and refueling in 436 feet of water with 1 to 2 foot swells. I do recommend if you attempt this ride that you invest in some type of rack. They are much more convenient, easy access, and I think that I refueled my ski in under 10 minutes and I didn't have to get in the water.
Too crowded for us to dream.
My ski is currently set up with a PWC super rack. I have one bungee cord going across the gas tank and the cooler, and I never have a problem refueling. Although I was glad that Kevin figured out a way to bring extra gas, I hated to see him go through all the work just trying to refuel. He had to get in the water with at least about a couple feet swells, unstrap the gas tank, pull the gas can off, try to turn around and maneuver it to the bottom left-hand side of his ski. This was a challenge for both of us, and we ended up transferring all of his gas into my gas can, and then me going to the right side of his ski to kind of hold it down where he can steady it and fill the gas on the left bottom hand side. It was a challenge, but we got it done. We worked together, and he got his strap back on, and we were on our way.
So some way called those boys in blue, but I don't know how much they know about peace. We are gonna rest shit with no love to hold. Daily misplaced in the contents of our souls. We have forgotten ourselves. Now can't rightly name who we once of the people before this apathy came. Yeah, I don't wanna have to tell the same stories. I don't wanna always be worried that I'm losing myself.
It took us about 3.5 hours to make this crossing, but I'm sure we can do it in 3 now that we know what it takes to refuel his ski. But we ended up going down the river and stopping at Admiral Jack's Bar and Grill to have lunch. When I researched this place and planned this trip, I had no idea it was going to be packed. When I got to the hostess, I found out we had a 35 to 45 minute wait to get a table. I ended up putting our names on a list, but we wind up finding a couple of chairs at the end of the bar, and we ordered burgers and had a couple of drinks. If you're wondering why our return trip says 100 miles, it's because we rode the shoreline from South Haven, Michigan to Michigan City, Indiana Marina, which is about 60-something miles. And then after we refueled at Michigan City Marina, we made our crossing back to Diversey Harbor to Chicago then, which that is additional 40-something miles. If I had to do it again, I wouldn't do that. I would eat, chill at the beach, and then make my crossing back to Chicago. This is why one of the reasons I said if you're not experienced, don't attempt this trip. Because once you leave out any harbor on Lake Michigan, it is not guaranteed that you're going to return back to the same type of conditions. And I was asking Kevin, was he going to be okay? Because he had an additional 9-something miles to go from when I got back to Diversey, with him trying to get back to Evanston. At this point, I was so glad to be back at the marina. Reason being because I was cold and wet and my body just felt like it's been stampeded over by a herd of cattle. The way my body felt, I never wanted to get on a ski again. But my mind is like, I wonder what the weather is like next weekend. My advice to anyone that attempts to do this ride is 1, be prepared to be hurt. 2, leave as soon as you see the tip of the sun come up and the water is calm. If you don't, you'll have a rougher ride.